Okay, so for those who are new here today, just take a very quick look. It's compulsory for you to turn on your video and then mute your microphone. Now, use the chat function if you want to do the following. Yeah, especially when lesson is ongoing. Why do we need to focus on that? Because we don't want to interrupt each other, because let's say your friend is trying to share an answer and I'm reading out the answer, and then you start to unmute and give your comments. It can disrupt the focus of your friends, and you can also disrupt mistake also. Yeah, so next you need to take note. If you have anything very urgent, raise your hand first, then I will let you unmute yourself. Okay, I think, who was that who did it? Janelle, you did it earlier, right? Yeah, when you came in very early. If you need to be excused, for example, you need to go to the toilet, you want to get some water to drink, don't wait for me to give you permission. Just put into the chat saying that you are going to the toilet, you are going to get some water. Okay, then you quickly go and come back. All right, so this is what we need to be very, very particular about, all of us. Last week, we stopped at question 9. We completed 9A and 9B. So just to recap your memory, Mina placed a plant with storage roots in a dark room. So this is the plant inside this particular beaker. Okay, there's wet soil. Okay, then there is this Q, which is the storage root. Now, after putting it, in the dark room for 1 day, she tested plant parts P and Q with iodine solution. So in the presence of starch, iodine solution changes from brown to blue-black. Okay, so if we were to fill in the answer, we already gone through this. We know that because it is in the dark room, P being the leaf part, right? It cannot photosynthesize without light. So therefore, there will be no starch present. Okay, and therefore the color of the iodine solution will still be brown. Okay, but for Q, because it is a storage root, it doesn't need to wait for the leaf to give it starch in order to be tested positive. Yep, because it has already some starch contained there. It's just that overnight, that particular period, there is no extra starch being added into the storage root, which is like, for example, potato. Okay, so it actually caused the iodine to change from brown to blue-black because it already has starch in it. Yes, Timothy? Oh, accidentally unmuted. No problem. So then we look at 9B, right? Explain the answer. We talk about the leaf unable to make food because there was no light. So therefore, the leaf did not contain any starch. I explained just now also. And because Q is a storage root, a lot of excess sugar was already stored as starch in that plant part much, much earlier. It's not going to lose the starch overnight. It cannot happen. Okay? It cannot happen. It's not like the leaf. It will store the starch in it until it is being removed now by maybe human beings or by animals who eat the storage root. Now we are at C. I told you I didn't want to go into C because I don't want to rush through the answers. Okay, based on your answer in part A, which plant part P or Q do you think you should be eating to get more energy? Then you have to explain your answer. If I were to look at your answers for last week, let me see. Okay, many of you talk about storage roots are starchy. Okay, now maybe, let me see. I will show you the answers. Okay, the correct answer is part Q, right? Because part Q already contained a lot of starch, okay, which is from the excess sugar from the plant earlier on. Now, so sugar provide with energy, provide Mina with energy, so she should be eating this part. All right, so if I look at your answer from last week, Okay, I have Ariel's answer here. Usually, storage roots are starchy. Okay, you wouldn't get full marks, yeah. But one thing I want to remind you, Ariel, let me see where are you? Okay, your camera is on. Good. Now, Ariel, the question asks you to identify, is it part P or Q? Am I right? But you didn't say whether it's P or Q. You only say usually storage roots are starchy. So did you answer the question? Not exactly right. You didn't select which part, you know. So you cannot let me assume which answer is the one you're choosing. Please have to write it down, okay? Whether it's P or Q, be very clear. All right. Then Brian says, as the question says that the iodine from brown will become blue-black. You are not exactly answering the question also. Number one, you did not select the part. Right, Brian? Did you select part P or Q? You didn't. Okay, then why would you ask her to eat that part to get energy? So you must talk about the part where energy comes in. Having the iodine changing from brown to blue-black is not going to give her extra energy. Get what I mean? Yeah, so it is the starch, which is the excess sugar, which will actually be the source of energy for Mina. Emma, they want you to select the part that Mina should eat to obtain more energy, then explain your answer. So after you choose, you explain. Okay, instead of telling me, you know, part Q gives more energy because it has a lot of starch. Now you're telling me part P, I'm able to make food because there was no light. It doesn't really answer the question, you know. You're going the opposite direction. It's like I ask you, why do you like to eat apple? Then you tell me orange is sour. You get what I mean? So you're not answering my question. You should be saying that, oh, the apple is sweet and juicy, something like that, crunchy. Get what I mean? So answer to the question. Better take note of this. Okay, Jakai has changed to Wednesday class. Okay, because she has something on Monday. See how you also talk about part P instead? Wait a minute. Okay, sorry. I think your 9C was actually for the other question, the earlier question. Okay, 9D should be the answer. Sorry, let's rewind again. Okay, Avril, back to your answer again. I'm very sorry. But anyway, you all have to know how to answer certain questions. Avril, okay, this one should be 9C. I think the system, when it export out your answer, right, it wasn't able to tell part 1, part 2. Okay, so A part 1, A part 2 became 9A and 9B. That's why the 9C, original 9C became 9D. Okay, starch lets Mina obtain more energy. Right. Okay, now everybody take note. There is one thing you have to understand about starch. Okay, so this part here, I would like you to write down somewhere. Okay, the excess sugar is converted to starch to be stored. After we have eaten the starch, right, the starch will be digested into simple sugar, and that is the energy for us. So you want to have a very complete answer, I will suggest you copy this down. Okay, don't just say starch gives us more energy. Okay, starch actually is being digested. All right. So Brian, you're still missing out on the explanation part. All right, so you can see I already typed in for Avril. Whenever I type in purple, it means that, you know, these are the added words to help you score your marks. Emma, part Q contains starch, which is formed into excess sugar. Okay, this is very close to the suggested answer. See how? Part Q contains starch. Okay, see how not able to complete, maybe because of the word limit. Okay, but this is pretty good. All right, I think he wanted to type in, provide us with energy. Part Q. Okay, you are using CER, Matthias. Very good. As there is more stored food. Okay, so Matthias, I will want you to recall what I said just now. All right, don't just say starch give us the energy. Yeah? If you can add on to your answer, it will be even better. Okay, there is more stored food. We write this stored food as starch. Okay, she'll be able to get more energy because starch will be digested into simple sugar. Okay, to provide us with energy. Okay, this is your answer, is it, Amai? Contain starch? Okay, yeah, which is formed from the excess sugar. Yeah, and then you have to say that the excess sugar is the one that provide us with energy. Starch alone don't provide us with energy. It has to be digested. If it's not digested, it can't really help us, with the energy. All right? Okay. So that's about it. Next. When you have access to the sheet already, you realize that you don't have to copy down too many things. So my advice to you is, for those of you, I put in your email address so you have access to the Google Sheet. The rest of you, you don't have access, right? Yeah, it's because you have not given me your email address. You can type it into the chat. If you want me to add your email address in, then you can access all these resources. Okay, so those of you, you can type in now. Okay, question 10. Now, why is the carrot larger and thicker than the roots of the spinach plant? Now, you have to understand because carrot, we went through last lesson. Some plants actually store their excess food, okay, in the roots, right? In the ground. Okay, so these are storage roots. Carrot is one example that we actually talked about last lesson. So the excess food produced by the leaves is stored in the carrot root. So thus making it larger than the non-storage roots of the spinach plant. Okay, so the spinach plant doesn't have storage roots. Okay, so whatever starch there is, it is stored in the leaves. Okay, it's stored in the leaves. So that's why spinach, right? We only eat the leafy part. Then for carrot, we don't eat the leaves here. Okay, because all the excess food is being stored. Okay, in the storage root, we only eat this part. Let me look at your answer. Okay. So if you check your answer here, right. Avril, you only say it is a storage root. This is the kind of answer you can give only up to P4 level. P5 and P6, you cannot write this way, okay? Because very, very difficult for you to score points. Clear? Yeah, cannot just state something, you must explain. Yep. Brian, the carrot root itself is the fruit. You have to elaborate what you mean. Usually plants will have all the excess sugar being stored in the fruits. Yep. So in this case, the carrot root is like the fruit, but you have to elaborate further. You didn't elaborate. Okay, you have to say that there's a lot of excess food being stored as starch there. All right, because this is the storage. This is the storage root or carrot root. Then talk about the spinach plant. Okay, it doesn't have the storage roots, so it doesn't store food there. Doesn't store the excess food there. Okay. Okay, see how the excess food produced by the leaves